Virgo, mm, something significant is being extended in your direction. Not the ordinary kind of opportunity that arrives in the course of an ordinary life, the kind that requires consideration, but does not fundamentally alter the landscape, the other kind, the kind that arrives rarely. That has the specific quality of something built at the intersection of your particular gifts and the specific moment in time that makes those gifts not just valuable but irreplaceable. The kind that, once received and properly inhabited, changes the shape of what comes after it in ways that the life before it could not have contained. And someone is watching it happen with something other than joy for you. That is the second element, the one that Spirit is pressing forward alongside the offer, not to diminish the offer, but to ensure you understand the full picture of what is surrounding it. The jealousy, real, present, coming from a specific direction in your life, and carrying in its very presence the most honest confirmation available that what is being offered is as significant as it feels. Take what is yours today. What resonates, let it settle without the Virgo adjacent instinct to immediately audit whether you actually deserve what is being described. What does not, release it gently. But for those of you who felt something stir in the chest, in the specific place where significant things register before the mind has finished processing them, this reading is naming what that stirring has been responding to. Let me speak about the offer first, because it is the center, and it deserves its own careful attention before the jealousy receives any. What is approaching in the quality of opportunity available to you right now has the specific character of something that was always going to arrive at this moment rather than at any other. Not because circumstances conspired to produce it arbitrarily, because you have been through the specific and unglamorous work of becoming who you are, building toward the configuration of readiness that this particular offer requires. And that configuration has arrived in you right now in the specific and unrepeatable form of someone who has done the work and is therefore actually equipped to receive what the work was always moving toward. Soft sigh. Lifetime is a significant word. Spirit is using it deliberately, not as hyperbole, not as the inflated language of a reading trying to produce excitement, as the honest description of something that arrives once in the specific configuration it is arriving in now. That the particular intersection of who you are and what is available right now will not reproduce itself in exactly this form. That the window, while genuinely open, is open in the specific this moment quality of something that is responsive to timing in a way that later moments will not replicate, which is not a pressure. Spirit is not bringing this through as urgency designed to produce anxiety. It is bringing it through as clarity, the specific, honest, this is what is actually available right now clarity of someone who wants you to have accurate information about the significance of what is in front of you so that you can receive it with the full quality of attention it deserves rather than the managed, let me not get too excited quality that undervalued opportunities tend to receive from people who have not yet understood their own value. You have perhaps been undervaluing the specific, quiet, this is probably not as significant as it feels habit of someone who has learned through whatever combination of experience and temperament to keep their own assessment of their circumstances modest, to reach for the realistic rather than the full, to receive good things at a size that feels survivable rather than the size they actually are. The offer that is approaching is not asking for that quality of reception, is not sized for the modest, realistic, let me not overestimate this version of you. It is sized for the full version, the one that has been being built through everything toward exactly this, and receiving it fully requires the full version to be present, not the one that keeps things at the survivable size, the actual one. Um, Now, let me speak about the jealousy because it deserves honest attention and carries more information than it might initially appear to. Someone in your life is watching what is approaching for you and feeling something that they are perhaps not entirely comfortable naming honestly. A mixture of things, some of which are understandable and some of which are less flattering. The specific, this should be mine quality of someone who wanted what is coming to you to come to them instead, who has perhaps been operating from the assumption, not always examined, not always conscious, that what you were capable of was comparable to or less than what they were capable of, and who is now, through the evidence of what is being offered to you, being asked to update that assumption. The update is uncomfortable. That is why it is producing jealousy rather than simply producing revision. Because genuine revision, the honest, I was wrong about this kind, requires the specific and not always available humility of someone who can sit with the evidence of having underestimated another person without needing to make the evidence wrong in order to feel better about the underestimating. This person is not yet at that quality of humility, is instead producing jealousy, which is the less humble response to the same evidence, which says, not I was wrong about them, but why them and not me. The jealousy is information. That is the specific and important thing. Spirit is pressing forward about it, not as a wound to be processed, not as a threat to be managed, but as information about the significance of what is being offered, about the gap between what this person believed you were capable of and what the offer is confirming you are capable of, and about the specific quality of what you are, which produces jealousy in people who encounter the evidence of it. Because jealousy is what the gap between their own potential and yours produces when the gap becomes undeniable. Soft sigh. You do not need to manage the jealousy. Do not need to minimize what is being offered in order to make the person experiencing the jealousy more comfortable. Do not need to perform a version of yourself that is smaller than what the offer is responding to in order to smooth over the discomfort your growth is creating in someone else's relationship to their own sense of what is possible. Their discomfort is theirs to navigate. Your offer is yours to receive. These are separate things and deserve to remain separate. What you owe the jealous person is not a diminishment of your own reception of something significant. What you owe them is simply nothing that costs you what is being offered. Be kind if kindness is available. Be gracious if graciousness is possible. But do not make the offer smaller to fit the comfort of someone whose discomfort is produced by their own insufficient relationship to your value. The offer is for you, built from the specific materials of who you are, arriving at the specific moment of your readiness, confirmed by the jealousy of someone who wanted it and is discovering it was never headed in their direction, because it was always headed in yours. Because what produced it, the specific built through everything quality of your gifts and your character and your sustained, unglamorous commitment to becoming who you are, was always going to produce this, was always building toward an offer that would fit the actual size of what you are capable of. And that offer is here. Receive it at full size, without the apology, without the minimizing, without the protective habit of keeping good things small so they are survivable if they do not work out, with the full, grounded, I know what I am worth quality of someone who has finally, completely allowed the accurate assessment of their own value to be the operating one. Because the jealousy confirms it. In the most honest form available, the involuntary, unperformed, impossible to fake reaction of someone whose own assessment of your value has just been corrected by undeniable evidence. That correction is real. The evidence that produced it is real. And the offer lifetime quality arriving now, sized for the full version of you, is real. Stand in it completely as the person it was built for, which is exactly who you are. Something significant is being extended in your direction from the specific intersection of your gifts and this particular moment. And the jealousy of those who wanted it confirms more honestly than any external endorsement could that what is being offered is exactly as significant as it feels. Receive it, all of it, as yours, because it is, if this reading found you today, if something here gave honest language to what is approaching and confirmed that the significance of it is real, stay close, subscribe, and come back. Because the story of someone who finally receives at the full size of what they are worth and what that opens is one worth witnessing all the way through. And the next reading will be there for every step of what the offer makes possible.